Okay, so last time we created the login and added the profile. What we've done is we've added a link called add listing, and if we look at our header component, we can see that we're getting the signed in, signed out, and sign out button from the clerk, and this is getting the details, we're adding it to Astro locals. And we can see that when we're signed in, so when clerk has returned the fact that we're signed in, we've got the profile link, but we've also got add listing link, only if we're signed in. So that's why we can see this add listing. Also on this page, what I've done, we're going to look at all of these, are all being pulled from the database in Appwrite. So if I go to my Appwrite, go to my console, I've made a project called rentals, and I've created a database called listings and a collection called rental list. Yep. So what we can do now is take a look at the attributes of everything in this collection. So it takes in the title, slug, location, category, room type, amenities, main image, description, max guests, price per night, bathrooms, bedrooms, and they're all strings and they're all required. And in the settings, right now I've enabled anybody to create anything, but obviously you don't want to do this in production. You want to just have maybe just users and only have anybody read the files like you probably would do on Airbnb. So that's that. And we've also got a storage bucket called listings bucket, and this is where all the images are coming from. And when you upload an image, it gives you a file URL, which is the same URL inside of our main image. If we look at one of these, the data, this is basically what we once we've uploaded the image, we'll get the ID back, and the ID, this will be put into our document. So now that we have all of that in the back end, this is the front end. We've also added, updated the categories section. So if I go to city, I'm also getting properties that have that city as the category. And if we take a look at that, so that was the header, we can sort it out. These are the categories that we are pulling in. And here we are basically saying, if we look at our Appwrite, we're bringing in the database and the storage. And here we're saying, okay, I want you to take everything from my database, which is called listings, and my collection is called rental list, and only show me the ones that have the category from the params. So that's what this is doing. And now if we look at add listing, so this is what the add listing page looks like. So basically on the front end it is just a form. So you just fill everything out. You got the title, description, again it corresponds to everything that's in a document, slug, location, max guests, etc. When it comes to the room type, I just added a select with a few options, and the category is being pulled in from the data categories JSON file. And we can also even choose a file to upload. So in the actual page, what we're doing is we're importing ID from Appwrite itself, but the database and storage is coming from our lib Appwrite.js file. We're declaring the project database, collection, and storage IDs. Just saves us from writing it further down. And when we're asking Astro, we're posting the form, it's going to take all of these, so the title, description, guest, slug, location, price, everything. When it gets to the image file, we basically say, if there's an image that's uploaded, store it in the Appwrite storage, so that's the storage ID. So it says basically, wait, create the file, storage ID, and change this image ID from blank to the ID of the uploaded file. Then what we're doing after that is creating a document with all the information. So the database ID, the collection ID, and it's going to give you a unique ID for the document. Then it's going to take everything from our form, the title, description, etc. But for the main image, we're basically creating this link with the storage ID and the image ID that we got earlier and the project ID. So if everything goes well and everything's successful, it will take you back to the home page. If not, obviously it will show any errors. And we're pulling in the categories from data categories.js. Yep. Okay, so now the form. So it's just a div and a section and another div to start, just to get the format. And we're having a H2, which just describes what's happening, adding a new rental. And we're taking the user's first name, where you could do anything there if you want. But this is the main crux of the page, which is the form. And its method is post. And the encryption type is multi-port form data, so that's with images as well. So every div has a label and an input. Now the input has to have the same name as the data that you want to send. So get title has to have title as its name, and you've got here description, which is a text area, but it still has to have name. The slug, location, max guests, min guests, bedrooms, bathrooms, price per night, room type. Okay, so the room type, here's the select I was talking about. And I've just given it some options here. You could add more or take away, it's up to you. And then the category, it's basically looping through all the categories we have in that file, in this file here. And it's only printing out the label. And with the amenities, again, it's a text area, and make sure the name corresponds to what you want. And then you've got the upload file. Yeah. Lastly, we have the submission button, and all the styling. I mean, the styles I'm not going to go through because you can style it the way you like, but that is basically what this is here. So we're going to do one together, and I'm going to use the camping one I have. So here we go. So we're just going to say camping house. This is a description of a camping house for rent. Right? So we're going to say rental camping location. We're going to say, let's go with Madrid, Spain. Bedrooms 1, bathrooms 0, price per night 60. Tent, camping, Wi-Fi, pool access, kitchen access, and bathroom access. Okay, so we've already uploaded we've already added the image. So let's add rental. And if all goes well, it should take us to the main page. And there it is. So if we click on it, we should see all the details come back. And we can update that to say what we need. Okay, so now if we look into our listings, our database, listings rental list, we should see camping house. And if we look at the data, we've got camping house, rental camping, everything is here. We actually get, say, instead of kitchen access, we can just update this to coffee maker and microwave. Yeah, I'm going to update that. And if you can see here, we've got this listings bucket, and the file is given this ID. So what we could do, we go to the storage, we go to our listings bucket, and we can see this, and this is the ID that's come back. Alright, so that's it. So that's adding a listing, and I added some more earlier, and basically went through the same process, and there you go. So next we'll look at actually deploying this onto a site, and we'll do that next.